Hi friends, today is Thursday, March 4th, and today with reading with Principal Rabb-Patterson, we're going to continue reading 50 Amazing American Women Who Changed the World by Laurie Calkhoven, illustrated by Patricia Castelao. And today we're going to read about Elizabeth Blackwell and Clara Barton. Elizabeth Blackwell, doctor. Fact file. Born February 3rd, 1821 in Bristol, England. Spouse, never married. Children, Catherine or Kitty, adopted in 1856. Died May 31st, 1910 in Hastings, England. Elizabeth Blackwell's parents believed in equal rights for women. She and her 4 sisters had the same education as their 4 brothers. When her father's business failed, Elizabeth and her family moved from England to America. They first settled in New York City and then moved to Ohio. When Elizabeth's father died, she and her 2 older sisters opened a boarding school in their home to support the family. Once the family's finances improved, Elizabeth was free to pursue her own dreams. A sick friend told Elizabeth that she would have been happier with a female doctor. That gave Elizabeth an idea. Why couldn't she be a doctor? She worked to earn money for medical school, and in 1847 she sent out applications. Every school turned her down except for one, New York's Geneva Medical College. Elizabeth became the first female medical student in U.S. history. Elizabeth graduated with top honors. When she was ready to set up medical practice, she returned to New York City. Many patients didn't trust a female doctor, so she opened a free infirmary for poor women and children. It was so popular that she then opened a hospital. For the rest of her life, Elizabeth treated poor women and children and was a champion of women's rights. A practical joke. Geneva Medical College left the decision about Elizabeth's application to the students, sure that the young men would say no. As a joke, the students voted to allow her to enroll. But the joke was on them when Elizabeth arrived a few weeks later and worked harder than most of the male students to keep her place, changing people's minds. When Elizabeth first tried to set up her medical practice in New York City, landlords wouldn't rent to her. Men shouted insults, and women crossed the street to avoid her. After she began to treat poor women and children for free, opinions about female doctors started to change. And that is Elizabeth Blackwell. Next we read up Clara Barton, founder of the American Red Cross. Fact file. Born December 25th, 1821 in Oxford, Massachusetts. Spouse, never married. Children, none. Died April 12, 1912 in Glen Echo, Maryland. Clarissa Barton was born on Christmas Day. The family nicknamed her Clara, and the shy girl grew up doing farm chores such as milking cows, feeding chickens, and gathering eggs. Clara had 4 older siblings. Her sister Dolly taught her to read. Stephen and Sally taught her other school subjects. And her brother David taught her how to throw a ball, use tools, and tie knots. A family friend suggested that teaching would cure Clara's shyness. As a teen, Clara took over one-room schoolhouse and became a good teacher. She taught for a number of years before moving to Washington, D.C. to become an office clerk, and she was there at the start of the Civil War. When Clara learned that the group of Massachusetts soldiers had lost everything, she gathered supplies for them. She also volunteered in army hospitals, but she knew that she could save more lives if she was on the battlefield. The army said it would be too hard for a woman, but Clara finally got permission to be a battlefield nurse. The soldiers called for her the Angel of the Battlefield. After the war, Clara traveled to Europe and learned about the International Red Cross, an organization that helped wounded soldiers and people who lost everything in natural disasters. She was so inspired by what she saw that she came home to start the Red Cross in America. Whenever there was a disaster like a flood or an earthquake, Clara led her volunteers to build shelters, feed the homeless, and give out donations. Clara led the Red Cross for more than 20 years, bringing relief and hope to people all over the country. First patient. When she was 11, Clara's brother David was badly hurt in a farm accident. Clara took care of David day and night. She gave him medicine and even applied leeches to his skin, which people mistakenly used to believe would remove whatever was causing the illness from a patient's body. First aid. When Clara retired from the Red Cross in 1904, she started a new organization, the National First Aid Association of America. She taught people the correct first aid treatment and encouraged every home in America to have a first aid kit. And that is Miss Clara Barton. So today we salute Elizabeth Blackwell and Clara Barton. Have a good evening, friends.